Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Slade. Well, tonight we weigh in with local leaders on the George Floyd protest in Billings. Overall positive reaction just one day after the demonstration demanding racial equality for all drew more than 1,300 people to downtown Billings. Organizers and authorities pleased with Sunday's protest. Chief Rich St. John says the rally remained peaceful and no arrests were made over the 3.5-hour duration. Protesters packed the Yellowstone County Courthouse lawn, eventually spilling into the street, marching the block around City Hall. A local militia group and other motorcycle groups attended the protest. St. John says other than a handful of verbal confrontations, cooler heads prevailed and no violence erupted. Billings police watched from the rooftops of neighboring buildings above the streets, and about 7 bicycle cops on the ground mixed in the protest. St. John credits the good attitudes of those in attendance, along with the work of local, state, and federal authorities for allowing everyone's voice to be heard.
So you had a lot of open carry people. They intermixed and mingled well over at the courthouse with people. I think they agreed to disagree on things, and one of the one thing is you can disagree without being disagreeable, and that's what happened yesterday. You had a wide variety of opinions on things, but everybody respected each other, and that was key to maintaining a safe and productive event.
Now, St. John also talked more today about how the Billings Police Department can further the conversation about excessive use of force. So join Q2's Mitch Laggy right here tonight at 10 o'clock for that report. Well, in attendance to the protest Sunday to honor the death of George Floyd and enact change in the community was Mayor Bill Cole. Cole says the protest was an historic event that brought out people of all walks of life to show that the death of George Floyd was wrong and should never happen again.
You know, I attended the rally on Sunday because I wanted to observe and acknowledge that the death of George Floyd never should have happened, and because I wanted to support many in our community who are hurting right now. I also wanted to hand out masks for anyone who needed one and to see how our police department would handle the event. I thought the organizers and Chief St. John got an A+ for the way they managed the rally. They worked together as a team before the event occurred, and the police presence was supportive but understated. Just about everyone was very respectful and peaceful, and I was very proud of our community.
And Mayor Cole says he wants 3 things to come out of this event: more resources enacted for drug prevention and mental health to help eliminate crime, an increase in minorities on the Billings police force, and to put pressure on our local legislators to better fund the Division of Criminal Investigations. Well, late this afternoon, Bighorn County health authorities added 2 new confirmed COVID-19 cases to its tally. This is in addition to the state reporting 3 confirmed cases today. The 2 in Bighorn County are men in their 60s who were found through contact tracing. The Public Health Department, Indian Health Service, and Public Nursing are busy tracing all close contacts as more free testing is done across the county. Now that brings the state's active number to 57 today, with 25 of those in Bighorn County. There are 2 people hospitalized and nearly 52,000 tests have been performed. Well, there are 123 days until ballots go out and only 148 until those ballots are counted. Your chance to make a difference. Well, this afternoon we caught up with some Billings residents and asked them why they think it's so important to make your voice heard this November.
I was at the protest yesterday. There's issues of, diversity and equality that we're facing across the nation. It's absolutely important to vote because these issues that we're facing right now are unprecedented, and everyone's voice must be heard. Everyone needs to get out and represent what they believe in.
I think it's an important part of our democracy, and citizen participation is obviously very important. So I think we all need to, be invested in our democracy, and part of that is voting. So I think it's a civil responsibility and a duty as a citizen.
Now, for more information or to register to vote, log on to mt.gov and click on the voter page. And remember, if you turn 18 on or before November 3rd, you can register now. Well, on the weather front, Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire is here with a look at some rain and snow.
Yeah, that really came down. It was a very wet weekend. Let me show you some of the places that really got soaked with some heavy rain this weekend. Places like Billings Heights, 1.51 inches of rain fell there. That's right. Billings West End, 122. The Billings Airport reported 0.89 inches of rainfall. Lockwood had 0.85 inches of rainfall as well. And also South Billings reporting 0.82 inches of precipitation and rainfall. But let's talk about some snowfall. Yeah, that's right. Up at the Beartooth, they wound up with, believe this, 10 inches of snow, about the 6,700 foot level. Other places a little lower than that, they had a little less than that. But they're still expecting another 2 to 4 inches of snow above the 7,000 foot level. That gives us a winter weather advisory that sticks around until 11 o'clock tonight. Then after that, most of the moisture will kind of start to spin its way out of the area, and our weather will start to improve, not only in the mountains, but also back down in the valleys for the next several days. And we'll have more about that coming up in a few minutes. Jeanelle?
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, after months of closure due to the coronavirus pandemic, Glacier National Park officially reopened this morning. MTN's Sean Wells lets us know what visitors can expect when they enter the park.
Day one of the park's phased reopening sees the park with limited hours, capacity, and extra safety measures in place.
I could probably say in the history of the park, we've never quite opened this way.
Glacier National Park officially reopened their doors Monday after a 2-month closure due to the coronavirus pandemic. Only the West Glacier entrance is open at this time, with the East Glacier entrance remaining closed as the Blackfeet Reservation maintains COVID-19 restrictions through June 30th. At this time, visitors are able to access Abcar and go into the Sun Road only as far as Lake McDonald Lodge. Glacier National Park Superintendent Jeff Mao says visitor centers, overnight accommodations, and backcountry permits, among other activities, remain closed at this time.
Very few other services are ongoing at this point, other than using the restroom, finding a place to park, and enjoying the views.
Brandon Berthelsen traveled from East Glacier to attend the park's reopening. He's taking extra safety measures and hopes all visitors follow social distancing guidelines.
It's my favorite place to be. I'm excited for the park to be reopening. As you can see, I'm wearing a mask. I'm trying to take precautions and hoping that everybody else does as well.
Park Superintendent Jeff Mao expects the Lake McDonald Lodge to open to visitors by June 15th and for park hours to be extended around that same date. Mao says the park is in constant contact with Blackfeet Reservation officials on finding a safe time frame for the east entrance to reopen. He says a COVID-19 testing center will open at West Glacier Village next week.
We're working with the Blackfeet to figure out when that may change, when that status may change. At the same time, we're working at putting in many of the measures to monitor for COVID-19 as the park opens up.
As of now, the park closes at 4:30 each evening. Those hours may change in the coming week. In West Glacier, Sean Wells, MTN News.
Now, snow plowing continues on the popular Going to the Sun Road, and park officials say the road over Logan Pass is expected to open in late June. Well, Yellowstone National Park is open from all entrances. However, visiting the nation's oldest park is still pretty much a day trip that requires some major planning. If you plan to stay in the park, the only options are cabins at Mammoth and Old Faithful. The cabins at Old Faithful open today, while the cabins at Mammoth open June 1st. The cabins at Yellowstone Lake will open June 17th. Meanwhile, all of the lodges and hotels in Yellowstone are closed for the 2020 tourist season. All of Yellowstone's 12 campgrounds remain closed. The first to open will be the Madison Campground 1 week from today on June 15th. Campgrounds at Grant Village Bridge Bay open on the 17th, while Canyon opens on the 19th. The rest of the park's campgrounds are set to open July 1st, with the exception of Fishing Bridge, which is closed for the season due to construction. Well, as far as food, do not forget to pack a lunch and some munchies. As it stands now, all food service in Yellowstone is grab-and-go style, with only a few general stores and gift shops. And Jay Cohn says the best advice is to be sure to check the Yellowstone Park website for the latest on what's open and closed before heading out. An update tonight on the Rebound Montana Relief Fund. First of all, thank you to all of you who've been able to contribute. Your donations have helped the fund reach $326,725, which includes matching funds from AMB West Philanthropies and MTN, plus a generous $100,000 contribution from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana. Now, if you'd like to help fellow Montanans rebound, please go to ktvq.com/relief to make a donation today. Up next on tonight's 5:30 News, changes are on the horizon for this year's Billings Clinic Classic. We'll let you know what's being planned. And in sports, these professional soccer women are working out in Missoula, including the sport's biggest star, Megan Rapinoe. Scott has that story.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.